Are you okay?
Slurp. Whoa. Yep. Oh yeah. Yum. I love it. That little part at the end that Matthew added to our...
Sorry, I was taking a bong rip.
I thought you looked a little bit like a stoner chick. That little part of the intro that our dear friend Matthew added. That's a beautiful intro by Slow Smog. But
Beautiful, as always, intro by Slow Smog.
that part that is like at the tail end.
I believe what you're referring to is like, at the tail end.
At the very tail end, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What'd you part? What was the part you thought I was?
I thought you were talking about what is commonly referred to in the music industry as the drop.
Not the drop. No.
Not the drop.
No. Very end of it. There's this part that, and I really need the audience to know this, or else they're not gonna appreciate the beautiful intro by Slow Smog. That's slowsmog.com, slowsmog.org. Slowsmog.bandcamp.com, or check out Slow Smog anywhere where Slow Smogs are found. Spotify. How about that? SLOWSMOG. If you're not listening to, wow, OG in your fucking name.
Oh my god.
Holy shit. Matthew. That's his name, right? Matt?
It's going to be embarrassing if it isn't.
It's like, my name is Chris. How long's it been Chris? Forever.
Since I was born, I think.
For years, yeah. Welcome to All the Space in Between. My name's Mitch.
My name is Billy. Welcome to our podcast.
What kind of podcast is it? Give me the info.
Give me the lowdown.
Give me the sweet info.
As you probably know, there's an email reading podcast. It's an advice-giving podcast. It's a podcast for thrill seekers and love makers everywhere.
Swingers, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know why I said that last bit. It's not.
Thrill seekers and, I don't know, hot wives and whoever. This is a cut cast. And we're thanking you for listening to it.
Thanks for tuning into our cut cast, everybody.
Yeah. Make sure to write in to fuck my wife. This is an email reading advice podcast. As you say, we dig through... It's like little pigs. I can't make a pig noise right now. I don't know why. My sinuses are too clear.
I never have that problem.
I can't do a pig noise. I've never breathed this well in my life. I don't know why.
This is so good for people like trying to fucking fall asleep. We're just making horrible noises and
slurping sounds and bad. That's the trick. You have to open your mouth. I'm a fucking pro. How was I doing it before?
I don't know. I like that you got out your best microphone to do.
Don't tell people, first of all, don't tell people that I've been switching microphones on the show. I don't want them to know that. Last episode was a Shure SM7B, which is the first time that we've ever recorded an episode with different microphones.
We've never done that before.
And guess what? I barely got any emails about it. Barely.
Guess what? It was a test, and you all fucking failed.
You all failed.
No.
So the first person to tell me what microphone I'm speaking into right now gets a pin.
Oh.
Gets a fucking all the space pin.
That's kind of funny.
And it has to be your first guess, and you can't just run through the microphones you know I own. What does it sound like?
Okay.
Because I'll tell you what it's not. Your microphone.
No, it's not.
A completely different microphone,
Yeah.
I've been experimenting. I've mostly just been getting bored. Yeah, I've just been like, like most other people's podcasts are just like 3 different microphones, and one of them is turned, like, it's just like completely turned off and nobody knows it, because they're all speaking so fucking far away from them that it's just the room noise,
Yeah, it's just bouncing off of the walls and the ceiling.
Yeah, why do I care about how our podcast sounds so much when everybody else has just recorded a Zoom call and they're like, there it is, episode 400 of our podcast.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
What a busy week we've had.
We truly have
What
had
a week.
Not a day off, I don't think.
Every single day there was just, from the last episode of the podcast, we've just been getting to work on everything else. And what a successful week it's been for the Patreon and the Discord. Let's talk about that just a little bit, and then we'll get into the questions. Okay, so great week. Everything that happened. There was my live performance on Tuesday.
Oh, that was so good.
That we set up for just very, very last minute. Even if you're not a patron, just go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/flatsound. There are like 2 videos on there. There's I Exist and By Your Side. Beautiful renditions of both of them.
God, don't get me started on the, like, it's like not cool to like gush about it because you're like my partner.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are you doing?
That rendition of By Your Side is like mind blowing to me.
Thank you.
I was watching you do it and I was just like, holy.
I figured it out like last minute. I performed the whole thing on a Volca and at like 5 a.m. the previous night, I was like starting to piece together the thing, and I was like, I think I can make this work. Yeah, sure. And then next day was the live performance. It went super well. Thank you to everyone who came and talked to me and was in the chat. It was super successful, and I felt very comfortable, and it ruled. So thank you. So there was the live performance.
Yes.
We had our first movie night. We watched Me and You and Everyone We Know. Nika streamed it in the server. There was a whole bunch of people watching it and talking with us. Amazing movie to watch. I hadn't seen it since I was like in like 10 years or something, you know?
Yeah, I hadn't seen it ever. That was my first viewing, and I think it was a very good first viewing.
We have 3 more movies to go. If you're not a part of the Patreon, you would like to join us for movie night, we have 3 more movies to go this month, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was cool. Like, what else happened? Oh, I turned 31. I had a birthday.
You sure did.
I turned 31 years old, and then the very next day we had the open mic. That was just yesterday. Yeah, so tons and tons. We had like 18 people performing at the open mic. Womp hosted, did an amazing job. So boom, that whole week was just something every day or every other day. Even if we had one day off, it was prep for the thing that was happening the very next day.
The next day, yeah.
It's ridiculous. So super fun. Thank you to everybody that was a part of that. If you do want to be a part of the Discord, that's patreon.com/flatsound. To join the Discord, pick any one of the tiers and go introduce yourself in the Introduce Yourself channel. And but that's it. That was our week. Wow. That was our plugs. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, very good. Very, very good.
But now it's Sunday.
Now it is Sunday. Now it is time to podcast.
We got to answer some questions. We have 3 for the show.
We do have 3.
Well, we picked 3. They're not necessarily questions. We just quickly picked 3 that were kind of funny to us. So let me get into the first one, if you'll allow me.
Oh, I will. You shall.
This question, I have no idea why we picked it still. It's just called Bugles on the Fingers. And it goes... Bugles on the fingers. Your thoughts? Sent from my iPhone. And there's just 5 different pictures that they clearly found on Google of like bugles on people's fingers. One of them is like is Turk from Scrubs. One of them is Turk from Scrubs. I'm not going to include this any like you know what bugles are. You know what you put them on your finger. Actually, do you know what bugles are?
Listen, I only know what bugles are because of the scene with Turk from Scrubs.
I'm going to put one of these pictures. I don't know which one. I'm not going to include them all, but I'm going to put one of them in the YouTube video.
We'll make it the one of Turk from Scrubs.
It doesn't really... it's not really a close... Okay, it's Turk from Scrubs. Here we go. I'm going to put it in the YouTube video now. There's Turkleton.
There he is.
With bugles on his fingers. And I'm going to take that away for the YouTube video. You go to allspaceintbetween.com to click whatever link on there that just says bugles on Turk's fingers to click to see the fucking picture. So you've never had bugles?
No, I don't think we have them over here, but they're little cone-shaped
crisps. Yeah, they're not like potato chips, but they're not corn chips.
They're not corn chips.
Yeah, they're like that other brand of crisp. It's like whatever like a Funyun is made out of, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just like starch. Just a starch
Yeah,
snack.
It's like a Cheeto or something. No, it's not quite a Cheeto. They're more hard. And they're good. They're good.
And you put them on your fingers?
You're not supposed to.
Why aren't you supposed to?
They say don't do it.
Why do they say don't do it?
It's like really dangerous.
You get witch powers?
Yeah. You get cast in Scrubs. No, that's like exclusively how you eat them, I think.
Oh.
It's just weird for me to like reach into a bag of Bugles and not put like a few of them on your fingers and go nom, 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 nom.
Okay. All right. Me, as someone who's never put a bugle on my finger, if I were presented with a bag of these.
And you've never seen anybody do this before in your life.
No, and let's say I've never seen Dr. Christopher Turkleton from Scrubs do it. I suppose my first instinct would be to put it on my finger, yes.
Yeah, fingers.
But my second instinct would be to hold it like a little ice cream cone and fill it up with like a bit of guac or something.
Whoa. Holy shit.
What do you think about that?
Oh my god.
That's my outsider perspective.
I don't think I've ever seen that. You have a little ice cream scoop full of like sour cream.
Yeah, full of like a little dip, right?
Yeah, a little sour cream and onion.
Mm-hmm. I held it like a little ice cream cone.
That's nuts. Why are bugles shaped like that?
It's for one of the two reasons.
It's got to be what you're saying. It must be. I've never heard of that.
It's either for fun or for flavor. Choose your adventure.
I've always chosen fun.
That's fair.
But I've always been a fucking idiot. So,
What, are you looking up?
Yeah, I'm looking up why are bugles, and the first suggestion is why are bugles so good? Why are bugles so salty? Why are bugles called bugles? Why are bugles flat now, which is terrifying me?
Oh my god.
Why are bugles so bad for you? And why are bugles shaped the way they are?
That one.
That's the one. And the first suggestion, the first answer on here is why are bugles called bugles? Which is not what I asked.
Okay, that's not what we wanted. No.
Bugles are so named because of their horn or bugle shape. Apparently a bugle is a thing.
Oh,
what's a bugle?
Yeah. It's like the thing you like blow into it, like it's like a like a
Oh, okay.
like a bugle.
All right, then I guess that answers our question.
Bugle. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just take the S.
It's like what they play like when they're putting the flag up. You know?
Oh, a horn? Just any horn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We can move on. We don't have to talk about bugles anymore. It's actually not great content.
Okay. All right.
I would like you to try bugles one day, though. I just would.
I would like to try many, many things. There's a whole world of snacks that I've not eaten that I'll soon have access to when I come back over there.
I'm gonna search just a few things. So apparently bugles are gluten-free.
Okay. Great news for you.
Good. Are bugles gluten-free? Yeah, they say they don't have wheat. Whether they're like actually safe for people with celiac disease is, I don't know. They're probably made in a facility, but I could eat them. So that's all I fucking care about.
Yeah.
And then my last question, what do bugles taste like? Salty corn.
That's good enough for me, baby.
Yeah, the original they say it just tastes like salty corn. So there you go. Bugles on the fingers. Any thoughts? My thoughts are that they're good. I like them. Your thoughts are that you have no fucking idea.
My thoughts is that I have no idea, but I want to turn them upside down and use them as a little ice cream scoop.
I've never, ever thought of that, and I think that it's great.
Well, that's why you're with me. Original ideas.
Let's get an actual question in here, because this one's juicy.
This one is juicy.
This one's a little bit juicy, and I feel like I'm gonna want to dwell on it for a long time.
This one's like a little bit gossipy. Actually.
This one's gossipy, and I think we're all gonna be like kind of chatting about it in the server. Like I can just feel that happening.
Yeah.
But it's just called "Thanks for the Crush." And it says, "Hello, oh favorite pod hosts, oh mine. This is a useless and rather silly email just to let you know that I blame you guys for the fact that I apparently have a crush on none other than Slow Smog himself. I've been listening to his music very normally and regularly, and then you all had to go and have an amazing open mic night, and somehow this happened. I can't explain it. I almost never get crushes on anyone, being probably a little bit ace/arrow or something, and yet here I am. And now it's weirdly difficult to be regularly active in the Discord on the off chance that he sees my normal messages and somehow decides I'm weird. Earlier, I was just doing some homework and randomly remembered that he interacted with me one singular time, and it was to heart react to something of mine, and now, well, I simply have to go write in my diary about this. So thanks for temporarily ruining my life until I get over this. Joking, but not really. Lots of love, this person's very anonymous name. P.S. Yes, I do know that he has a real name. I wish they told us so I would know what that Matthew thing was. That seems too personal somehow, so I'm distancing myself by exclusively referring to him as Slow Smog. P.P.S. This is not my main account because I can't bear the idea of anyone tying this to me and knowing about it, and please, dear God, oh please let nobody figure out who I am. I've tried so hard to not leave any identifying details. P.P.P.S. No, I am not a child. I am simply choosing to be silly in this email, but I promise I am in my 20s. I'm normally cool and normal, and we've interacted enough times for me to know that you don't think I'm a weirdo. I mean, I hope. Also, in all realness, the open mic was so incredible. Thank you guys for setting it up.
So interesting.
So, I'm all about it.
Yeah, and just so you know, because I know people are going to ask us. Of course, the first thing we did when we read this email is look at the email.
Look at the email and
see, who is this?
Can we backtrace this to like a previous email, or who is it? It's a fake name.
We don't know.
It's a fake name that sounds real. And we're like, who is this person? And it threw us off, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But they're using not their usual email
The email
address.
looks like a normal Gmail account.
Yeah.
It isn't just like throwaway Matt, call me at gmail.com.
Oh my God.
But it seems real, and it threw us off. We're like, who is this in the Discord? And we're like, oh, it is somebody in the Discord that we know, but it completely threw us off.
They are disguising themselves, and it's working because we have no idea who this is. We have no idea who this is.
I don't know who this is.
It's very interesting to me, but they have a crush on none other than podcast intro composer himself, Slow Smog.
Beautiful intro by Slow Smog, the heartthrob.
Beautiful open mic set by Slow Smog. Apparently good enough to get you to have a crush on him.
I was gonna say, like, the Slow Smog set, on Saturday was, tragic.
Okay, yeah. So for people who weren't there, for people who were not at the open mic, Slow Smog went on second to last.
And it's worth mentioning too that Slow Smog is one of the most beloved open mic performers. Always puts on a really, really great set, is a beautiful artist, and does the intro music to the show,
Yeah.
So to have them on the open mic is always an honor.
It is. It's always, like, we always look forward to it, and it's always great.
Everybody does.
They're in Australia, so they had to be on later. So they were on second to last, and we were all very excited for Slow Smog's set. And as soon as they, like, come on the audio, it's just, like, so fucked up.
How does this sound? Something's wrong. I think something is. Oh, what? Can you hear me now?
It sounded like it was going at like 25% speed and also like it had like a robot voice effect on it.
Very distorted. We tried to fix it. Couldn't do it.
We did try to fix it. They ended up coming back at the end to just play an outro song anyway, and it was like you could hear the song, but it was also being distorted and slowed down because of whatever this audio problem was. And although I know as a musician that's probably like your worst fucking nightmare,
it's the worst. Obviously,
it's obviously terrible. It was kind of good to listen to.
Objectively, it was like very like everybody enjoyed it a lot. Still, it was like a rare Slow Smog set that like is just sound. Obviously, it's not what they wanted, but it's what kind of we deserved. So it's fine. It all worked out great.
Yeah, but super funny that someone would hear that set where it was like really fucked up. You could barely hear what he was saying. The whole thing was just Mitch and him going back and forth, going like, he's like, is this better? And Mitch is like,
nah,
no, dude.
No, man, it's not. It's actually pretty grating.
He starts being like, fuck.
Damn. It's okay. I'll just get you next. No. It's fine. And then Slow Smog goes away. We have another performer. Burb went on, did some beautiful poetry. Then Slow Smog, without even asking, like unmutes himself and says, "Please, can I try again? This is all I have." And I was like,
That's not
yeah,
true.
we can. I guess we can do that,
That's
dude.
not true.
That's really sad. I didn't know that.
This is lies and slander.
Okay, but based off of that very experimental performance, I love that was where this person just was like, "Fuck it, I love him."
It was like, yeah, because they already knew his music, but they heard that for some reason and was like, God, I want to kiss him.
Fuck, I want to kiss his little Australian mouth.
Why? That's so funny. That's so funny. Okay, but all right. Okay, so their problem is that they're now afraid to interact in the Discord.
Yeah. I mean, you should be even more afraid at this point because everyone in the Discord is just going to be like Spider-Man meme pointing at themselves, like, pointing at the other person, right? They're going to be like, who is it?
Who is it?
Who
is
is
it you?
this?
I'm like, no, it's you. If you're asking, it's probably you.
It's definitely
You're
you
trying
if
to
you're
throw us off the
asking.
scent.
Yeah. Also, we don't know if Slow Smog has a partner.
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
No.
He's a great catch, so he probably has 4 partners. He cheats all the time.
No.
But he's hot. How could he not?
God.
Yeah, so let's try and be at least a little bit respectful of whomstever that is, if they're listening. We know Slow Smog listens. We don't know if any one of their partners is listening as well.
Any one of the members of their harem, yeah.
But but this is fun. This is fun detective work. Personally, I don't know who it is, other than I'm like 90% sure it's Brooke.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, what?
The clues are here.
The clues are here. In the 20s.
Yeah. Interacted with us.
That's true. Interesting. Let's all just point the finger at Brooke.
Let's pretend it's Brooke. I feel the most comfortable making the joke and saying like, "Oh, it's Brooke," blah blah blah. Because whoever it is actually, if I had just jokingly was like, "It's this person," and it was actually them, it would have given them a heart attack. They
would scream.
They would be like,
I'd be listening
"What?"
to this and scream out loud.
I didn't want to risk that.
Yeah.
Or I'm taking the ultimate risk and it is Brooke, and then that will still happen, and then that would be funny.
That would be funny.
What should they do? Act normal.
Act fucking normal.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
You'll be totally okay.
You'll be fine.
If the crush disappears, that's fine. If it doesn't,
if it gets more intense.
If it gets more intense, you got to do something about it. I mean, romantic comedy style, boombox on the over the head. You got to send a DM.
That's as close as you can come to in these like travel restricted COVID pandemic times. That's as close as you can
Australia
get
too.
To yeah, that's as close as you can get as standing outside someone's window with a boombox is just kind of sending, I guess, a Spotify link in their DM.
Right, and just like pretend I'm like playing these songs over my head with a boombox outside your house. Yeah.
This is as close as I can get. I'm so sorry.
Also, you live in fucking Australia, so that's on you.
That is your problem.
That's totally you, yeah.
Yeah, it's all Australians' fault that they live in Australia. I'm always saying this. I miss having an internet crush.
Excuse you. Again.
You don't count. You're my boyfriend.
Okay. You have Brooke. We could bring her up again. As we're reacting to each other on. I'm not on Twitter, but I'm on enough to see what's been going on. Okay, I'm on enough.
I see you liking each other's
I'm on the
selfies.
podcasting account. Every time you post a selfie, it's like a fucking. It's disgusting. It's gross. Gotta see that.
Well, someone has to hype my selfies up now. You're not fucking on there.
It's true. I can hype
Someone
them up
will
from the
step in.
podcasting account, but people would definitely think it's you hyping yourself
People
up.
think it's me. People still think that whenever I interact with the podcast account, people would just like, oh, that's cute. Billy's like talking to herself for
when
engagement.
it's actually
Yeah.
just me. I'm
Great.
already like I revisited the idea of just like posting funny stuff on Twitter through the podcasting account, and I'm already just so over it. Like I fucking hate Twitter.
You got to out your system. Yeah.
It's just not fucking. It's just not a cool place.
Nah.
It sucks,
not.
man. Place
No,
is
it's not
awful.
good.
Place is terrible. Anyway, yeah, what to do. Everybody's gonna talk about who this might be. Keep your cool. Maybe honestly, like you can't be the first one to bring it up. Maybe no. The power move would be try and be an early one in bringing it up and be like, oh my god, I wonder who. Really throw the scent off yourself early. And then yeah, because we truly have absolutely no idea.
But now that we've said that, now whoever does bring it up first, everyone's going to think it's them.
Well, you can't just not bring it up. Because
Oh
if
my
you're over
God.
there pretending to not fucking bring it up, then everyone's going to know it's you. If you're like, I don't know, I don't care, who cares? You know, people are going to be, oh, okay, yeah, who cares? Wow.
Fair enough.
Got
fair
a
enough.
fucking slow smog shrine in your closet like Helga.
It's fine. Who amongst us doesn't have a crush on Slow Smog?
That's
Makes
true.
beautiful intros. Makes
true.
beautiful intros.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's a good quality in a person.
Okay, I get it.
Hey, you made an intro.
I did, and then we started using a bigger man's intro. You said, I think you told me my intro wasn't satisfying. It wasn't satisfying you.
It went on for too long and it wasn't satisfying.
No, I think you
know?
said mine wasn't long enough.
Oh, that was so stupid.
Let's move on.
So fucking dumb.
Let's move on to the last one.
Okay.
Actually, what are we doing on time?
We're doing around time.
Let's see.
What, like a half hour?
Oh, are we? Get to the last one, and well, I need to do like a lot of mixing because I'm using. I don't know if I talked about this, but like a new mic.
Oh,
Not a new
yeah.
mic. This is an old mic, but I'm using a mic I usually don't use for podcasting.
Well, don't say which mic it is because someone wants to win that pin.
Really struggling
they
to not
won't.
say the name of the microphone. Next
I
episode, I'll do another microphone. How about that? I'll just
my
keep it
God.
fun for everyone. Even though all of my mixing goes toward it just sounding the same as yours,
Yeah.
I'll just EQ it to sound like okay with your microphone. So
Yeah,
it'll
you
just be
use a
really
much better microphone than make it sound
sound
worse.
Well, actually, I just try and make yours sound better. There's actually this really
Okay.
harsh peak in the 5000s of that microphone.
I
that
know where it is. I know where the harsh peak is.
it gives it this
Yeah.
digital kind of
I'm
a
aware.
boost that I don't like it
It makes
a
me
lot.
sound like a gamer.
It makes
a
you sound like
a
you're
gamer
cutting
streamer.
through like a COD sesh, you know?
Yeah, playing COD.
Uh-huh. It's not good.
No.
Let's do one last question.
I would like you to just like try and use a different microphone every episode for as long as possible till you start getting to like the obscure ones, like that one that you've got that's just an old telephone
Phone? Yeah, I have
with
that.
a wire plugged into it.
Well, I just bought that one, so that would be, yeah, until I'm just like, hello, everyone.
But it actually sounds like you're on an old landline phone.
It sounds exactly because it is an old landline phone.
It is an old landline phone with just an audio cable.
Yeah,
plugged
it
into
sounds amazing. Like, I love how it sounds. It sounds so fucking cool. I never realized how much just like a telephone filter, hello, I'm on the phone right now, sounds not bad, but it just doesn't sound authentic as to just talking into something that was an old landline. Like, that had a very specific... You can't just take a nice microphone and adjust the EQs to make it sound bad. You need to start with that bad microphone, and it sounds so authentic. It's so cool.
It's got to be authentically bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I also have a lot of just like throwaway condenser microphones that I was like, isn't this interesting? I'm recording this on a little $80 MXL 990. Isn't this a capable microphone for the price range? People are like, I guess, just Just answer the question.
No, I want you to get to like the landline telephone.
Those
I want
tiny
you to
little cassette Sonys that I have that are supposed to be plugged into, you know.
Oh, you said just do it holding a lavalier, like pinched in between your fingers.
I can make that sound good too. I can.
Gaming headset.
A gaming headset would be awesome. I would be
just like
so
an Xbox headset.
like scared that I'm gonna try like a headset or something, and it's just gonna sound so good that I'm just gonna want to start using it. You know,
sound amazing.
I'll be the same distance from the microphone all the time. Like it's
true.
Yeah,
oh my god, that is
it's
true.
It's pretty cool. You know,
Wow.
I've entertained the idea of stuff like
it
that.
Moves
you know,
with your head.
You know, Sennheiser makes actually does Sennheiser? I know Sony. Fuck me. I know Shure microphones.
Going through all the S's.
Yeah. Shure microphone makes like a studio quality condenser like headset that is supposed to be amazing.
I would love you to just wear it like just a fucking gaming headset, just like from a PlayStation or something, and just be like, "Fuck, why'd I spend all this money on microphone?"
I know, Jesus Christ! It doesn't. It sounds perfect for a podcast. Like this is all anybody needs, and then that will be like the new secret thing in everybody's arsenal.
Wow.
Hey, before we get into the last question, because we're just talking now, I want to flex a little bit and brag about you just slightly.
About me?
Yeah. Because I mentioned turning 31 on Friday, right?
Yeah.
July 9th, I turned 31. And
we love a Cancer King.
Your gift that you got me, I've not told anybody what it was yet. Like I've told like nobody in the Discord. I haven't like really told any of my friends or anything like that. But it's sitting right here next to me. The gift that you got me is the 25th anniversary edition. Just came out of A Year with Swollen Appendices. Brian Eno's diary. That's been signed by Brian Eno.
It has, in fact, been signed
You
by
got me a
Brian
signed-
Eno himself.
You got me a signed copy of Brian Eno's diary.
Yeah.
The 25th anniversary edition that just came out.
Yeah. And when I got it, it wasn't even out.
It wasn't
in
even
America.
out.
No.
You just got it from like Matilda's dad's bookstore. And he just happened to have signed copies. You didn't even like, if you want a signed copy right now, they're like $100 on eBay.
Yeah.
And look, look at that right there on the cam. That's Brian Eno's fucking signature.
Yeah.
He signed this
touched it.
book.
He did.
That's crazy.
the inventor of ambient music.
Like
this man literally
the Godfather
coined the idea and the phrase of ambient music. Yeah.
It's incredible, man. What a good gift for me at 31. What a good gift as a musician, as a you know, I told you actually that you know, like we haven't spoken about his work in a long time, but like yeah, when I turned 31, like that night as the clock was rolling over to midnight, I was on a walk and I was playing Discreet Music, an album of his, from my phone as I was going for a walk. Like I love him, you know?
Yeah.
And then the next day I opened my gift.
I had no idea. You hadn't listened to him in a long time, I think, and we haven't.
No, I don't ever
him
tell you I'm
whatsoever.
listening to him or anything like that, and I stopped for a long time. But yeah, when I was like younger, I was like, "Holy shit! This is what meaningful sound." You can hear some of Discreet Music on my album Sleep, not because I sampled it or anything, but there's like this voice clip in the background, and then you can hear me listening to it in the background even back then on that fucking album from 2012. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, signed copy of this book is incredible, you know?
Yeah, that blew my mind when you told me that. You
It's an
opened it and you
it's
were
an
like, I
amazing
was
gift.
listening to Brian Eno as it turned midnight on my birthday. I was like, that's crazy. That's
Very,
crazy.
very, very good gift. Thank you.
I'm very glad that you like it. I was like, I know Mitch doesn't read a lot of books, but
I know Mitch can't
this one's
read.
been
I know Mitch can't read, but but he'll look at the signature and think it's pretty cool. No, this is like his diary over the course of like a year, and it's written very it's very easy to digest.
Yeah, I think so. I read some of it before I sent it off to you.
Yeah, it's written like he would speak, you know? They're just journal
Yeah.
entries. It's cool. It's really, really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you were like, if you could have just given me the signature, and I would have been like sick.
Yeah, just
It's
the
also
signature
attached to his
alone
book.
would have been amazing. But it's attached to the 25th anniversary of this book. It's just nuts. It's just crazy.
It's a very. I feel like it's a good book to. It's a good gift to get at age 31.
Yeah,
I think.
it rules.
Yeah.
It rules so much. It's awesome. Okay, read the last question. Let's get out of here.
All right, I'm gonna read this one. Let me take a little sip of water.
I need a sip too. Let's do it at the same time.
All right, this one's called "Not the Juiciest of Pickles," and it goes. Hi Stinkies. I've avoided sending a question up till this point because I'm scared you guys have already answered a question like this before. But I guess if you have, then you'll just skip right over this one. Not the juiciest of pickles, but I want to start seeing a therapist. And I was just wondering if you guys have any good tips on finding a therapist that is the right fit. Basically just any general advice while I start looking for a therapist and start therapy. I've been listening to this podcast since it first started, and I think I've listened to every single episode. I absolutely adore you guys, and I can't wait till you're back together. I actually listened to the podcast Mitch and Christian had together when that was happening, and I loved it. So when I found out Mitch was starting another podcast, I was so excited. You guys truly brighten my day, and I treasure this podcast with all my heart. I love you guys. Bonus question. Would you guys ever bring Christian on for a little throwbacks to the Sad Soul days, with Billy, of course? P.S. I recently received my podcast pin, and it is gorgeous. Lots of love. It's this person's name.
Very cute. More of their email was about not their question, so it's hard for me not to focus on not their question.
Yeah.
Let's do their question. Let's answer that, and then we'll talk about the other stuff.
Yeah.
And then we'll go. We'll hit stop record.
Yeah.
Send me the file.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mix it tonight.
Cool.
Yeah, get the episode up.
And then you upload it, and then you write the description.
No. I'll do the video. I'll do the video while it's uploading to Libsyn. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got it. And then Squarespace is like the final thing. I put all the pictures and stuff up.
Yeah.
Go to bed. Oh no, sorry, dinner.
Yeah. Oh,
bed.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Text me when you text me when you wake up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will. Yeah. All right.
And then we're good. So first, so first we're gonna
we go through our whole week.
So what's Monday look like for us? Therapy.
Yeah.
They're entertaining the thought.
You have it. I have it. We all have it.
We all need it.
We all need it. We don't all have
I have one. I have
we all have mental health problems.
Yeah, I have a therapist. You have a therapist. Everyone needs a therapist, or everyone needs at least a little bit of therapy to just kind of wash off the little grime of the world. You know, the world has instilled so much of this muck on you. Wash some of it off. Do some self-reflecting. I'm very proud of you to want to do this. Unfortunately, it is a little bit difficult because not all therapists are good therapists. And I would even go so far as to say, because therapy, to become a licensed therapist takes a lot of schooling and a lot of work and a lot of everything like that. So to be more positive in that, I would say that not every therapist is right for you. Sometimes people will say, "Oh, I hate my therapist because they're abrasive and they seem uncaring But for somebody, that might be the perfect therapist.
Yeah, one of my friends actually said that she disliked her therapist. Like, she was like, I'd never be friends with my therapist because she's like mean and strict, but I kind of need that.
Right.
So, I'd hate that. I'd cry, but
you do.
Some people like it, for that purpose.
I've been playing with the idea of my therapist being more of a strict figure, to be more of like, or someone who holds me accountable for, or just gives me, I need the burden of like, kind of the fear of letting someone down. I need the responsibility of a deadline,
Yeah, to actually like do.
Yeah,
things you need
to actually do. Because if it were up to me, I stayed inside for 10 years. I'm the avoidance king. You know,
you're great at avoiding.
I'll find a way to avoid anything.
Yeah,
and I'll find a way to do it. Like I really will find a way to do it. So unless there's that obligation, I need the obligation. So yeah, we've been playing with the idea of that, but just don't go to a therapist and have one thing in mind. And if and the moment that's not that doesn't match what you thought it would be, I guarantee there's another therapist out there that will be a right match for you. And it doesn't mean that therapy in general, I mean, come on, it's therapy. It doesn't mean that therapy in general or therapists in general are something that you should just write off as a thing that won't work for you. You know, of course they'll work for you.
Also, therapy is such a broad it's so broad. You know, of all the different kinds, you know, do you want psychotherapy? Do you want like talking therapy, counseling? Do you want CBT?
I want shock therapy, personally.
You can't have that.
I want a fucking lobotomy.
Like the Ramones song says.
Yeah. How does that go?
I forget.
I want to be lobotomy.
That's I want to be sedated.
Got it.
The lobotomy one goes, lobotomy.
Lobotomy.
They've got a lot of songs like that.
Yeah.
Poor Joey. Anyway.
Poor Joey. Anyway, yeah, R.I.P. the king. Anyway. God, I guess he was real broken.
Anyway, no. Therapy is it's vast. Like you should look into what kind of therapy you want, or also try and narrow down like what your problem is, because different forms of therapy will suit you better if you're like, you know, do you have like compulsive tendencies that you want to address? Do you have phobias? Do you have, you know, general depression? Like, do you have low self-esteem? Like, there are different modes of therapy that are tailored to all those different things, and therapists will like specialize in different things.
Right.
So that's a good place to start, is to narrow down, okay, what's actually my problem that I want to address? Or the biggest problem I want to address? And in which way do I want to do that? You know? Yeah, there's even stuff like, I know some people that go to like Jungian therapy, which is like, you don't even talk, you just like pick up objects. I don't fucking, it's really abstract. But like, for me, I would be like,
I'd like to know more about that. I could already feel it helping me.
I want to just look at objects and go, this one, and then the therapist just writes down a piece of paper and goes,
oh shit. Next thing I know, I'm institutionalized because you
picked the wrong block.
I picked up a gun, yeah.
But even down to like, you know, slightly less abstract things like art therapy, music therapy, you know, can be really, really good if you're like working through trauma or something like that. So you want to look at what issue you're trying to address, and you want to think about in what way you want to address it.
Yeah, for sure.
Is the best way to start narrowing that search down, because it's very, very broad. Very broad.
I have this very like opinion about I go back and forth a whole bunch, and now I think I'm kind of swung forth in it, because when you're younger, it's very common to just be like, oh yeah, music is my therapy. But music is your everything at that point. You could be like, music is my drug. Music is my therapy. Music is my whatever.
Life. It's my religion.
Yeah, exactly. Music is my religion. Yeah. It's everything, and I get that. But a lot of times, I would, you know, throughout my 20s, I would be like, well, that's a corny thing to say. Like, that's because a lot of times these people who need proper therapy will say, oh no, music is my therapy, as in I like music and it helps me. What they mean is music is helpful and it's cathartic, but they still need like a therapist that they don't have. And instead they listen to flat sound. And then they consider me their therapist and send me weird messages. You know?
You say, I'm not qualified to deal with this. I'm not qualified to
do this, yeah. No. And if I were, I'd charge you money to tell me such triggering things. But then I get older and realize like how much like music therapy as a type of therapy has helped people through trauma. And I think, well, music is therapy and art is therapy, and it's just not CBT. It's just not, the kind of therapy I'm used to. But then I go back to thinking like, yes, but then just passively, thoughtlessly saying stuff like music is my therapy and then ending it there is still a little bit short-sighted. It's still a little bit like, well, okay, but you still need like,
Yeah, there's a difference between listening to music as like a thing that helps you and actually going to music therapy, because like from what I understand, when you do music therapy or art therapy, there's someone there like guiding you through it with intention.
Yeah, and they're not listening to flat sound.
And it's usually making those things, not listening to those things, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a little bit different, like there might be, lots of things people find hard to just express in just talking about it. So, doing it through some artistic medium's better for them. And I think that's a really good tool.
It's extremely good. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, many, many, many different types of things that you can do to help yourself. But obviously we don't have that much information about what your problem is. So we can only give you very general advice,
Yeah.
Also, I'm from England, so like I got my therapy through the NHS, so it's just like they're just like, well, here's the one you get.
Yeah, you don't really.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like it or lump it.
Either that, or you can go private, huh? Your Majesty. You can go private if you want. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. And sometimes you'll wait 8 months for a slot. And then you'll get your therapist and she'll make you cry and she'll trigger you really badly.
Right.
And then you'll cry for hours and hours and then you'll say, I don't like this. No thanks. And that's just what. And do you think they give you another one? No. They're like,
you got the bottom of the list again.
Bottom of the list. Wait another 8 months.
Yeah.
And that happened to me last year.
Yeah, of course it did.
Yeah. But this time I got lucky in the NHS therapy lottery and I very much like my one that I have right now. But I don't. The way it works here is that you just get who you're given. So that's it. They'll look at your problems and they'll try and match you up good, but it's not up to you. It's up to them. Whereas obviously in America it's more of a free market type deal.
It's a bit of a free for all, really. But no, we do. I mean, it's our healthcare that we pay for. Or it's something like I could get a therapist through Kaiser. I've heard mixed things about that. I have one friend that really loves it, and I have a lot of friends who really dislike it. I never even tried it because I've had my therapist for so long. But I had a very specific problem, and, on a government level, they don't really understand that problem very much, because with something like agoraphobia, you'll try and get help for something like that, and it's just... you'll go through whatever insurance plan you have, and they're like, oh, no, yeah, we have meetings for agoraphobes. It's 30 miles away, and it's every Tuesday, and we hope to see you there. Oh, you're agoraphobic. Oh, that's fine. Just come in. Just come in anytime.
Yeah, just leave your house and meet us here. Oh, it makes you
uncomfortable, does it? Oh, just come in the mornings when there's not that much traffic. Oh, that's cool. I'll just do everything I need. You fixed me. You fix me, Meredith. I'll just come in the mornings.
Yeah, I would need to be fixed
to get the therapy
before coming.
Yeah, like that's that was what kept me sick for so long. Is that I would just think about it and I'd be like, "Welp, I guess I'm fucked."
That's terrible.
Because anytime I'd call someone about it, they would just be like, "Oh, just come in." Oh, that makes you uncomfortable? Would just come in like if you call on like a Wednesday, there's like barely anybody here. And I was like, oh, yeah, because the thing that gives me panic attacks when I'm 1 block away from my house is how many people are in your office. God damn it. Like, doesn't make any sense.
No.
Yeah, so to go private, I mean, I don't know how it is over there, but over here we do have a lot more options. I don't pay that much to talk to Neil. I don't. Like, and I've talked to him for a long time, and he's specialized in agoraphobia. And he's from a different part of the state as I am. But because he's in the same state, he's my therapist. And we have video calls, and we've done that ever since, Yeah. And I always suggest that. Actually, yeah, let's give an actual resource. You can if you just go to Isn't it just...
ADAA?
No, I wasn't going to do
No.
the thing from Neil. But a much more common one is that if you just go to psychologytoday.com, you can look for therapists and counselors and stuff within your state who can help you if you're not comfortable going in, given because it's COVID or because you just rather do video calls. Lots of them, especially because of COVID, will offer teletherapy, to video calls and phone calls. My suggestion would be at least a video call. It's much more helpful when you can see the person and they can see you. You feel more responsible for like paying attention, and you're connecting with somebody and you're seeing a real person. Go for video if you're going to do something that involves, like telecommunication. Go for video. And you can find really affordable therapists on psychologytoday.com. Yeah, that's what my therapist actually suggests to people that come to me that are like, how do I find a good therapist? That's a really great resource. And you can find somebody that works with your insurance, or somebody that's private, or somebody anywhere, and I've helped some friends find some really good therapists with that as a resource.
That's a very good tip. You know what's funny?
What?
That you just I have no idea what my therapist looks like.
Really? Not at all.
I've never seen her.
Oh, because you only do phone calls.
We don't do video calls. We do phone calls. Like actually on the cellular phone. It's not even like an internet call. It's a phone call.
A cell phone call?
Yeah.
Wow. Look at that.
I weirdly kind of like that because even sometimes when I'm in a call with you, I'll be like, and you've seen me in all states. We've been together for years now, so
you're paying attention to yourself instead of the thing.
Yeah, so especially if it's like a therapist, like I already have a hard time. Like, I always want the therapist to, like, think I'm funny and stuff. It's like, I don't need them to think that I'm going to have something going on in my head. It's like, I
hope they think I'm attractive.
I look cool.
Yeah.
Like, so it's kind of nice for me to...
Okay, yeah, for sure.
I'm just a voice on a phone, But it is a little weird. I have no idea what she looks like whatsoever. She's she could walk past me and I wouldn't know. She knows all these very intimate details of my life.
If you prefer that, then maybe for some people it's a preference. I just wouldn't want people to avoid doing it just because it makes them uncomfortable. Because a lot of people would avoid that because it makes them uncomfortable, and they want that separation between them and the therapist. And you should remove any bit of that, avoiding something because it makes you uncomfortable, and to purposely build a space between you and the person that's trying to help you. But that's just, I'm only regurgitating what Neil tells me,
I mean,
he's like... you should do
I do
it like
agree
this.
with you. I didn't request it to be telephone calls. Usually all NHS appointments are in person.
They're in person, right?
And actually, I've asked for it to be over the phone before, and they've told me no. But now, because it's COVID, it's all on the phone.
Wow.
And that's the only option you get, is just the phone. So, worked out okay for me. It also means I can never be late, which is great.
And yet you've missed a few already.
I've missed one. I missed one.
You've missed one. I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, because my phone was on Do Not Disturb and I fell asleep. But I'm so fucking bad for being late to places. If I have to actually like get ready and get on a bus and go there. But this is like, I can be in the middle of whatever and my phone rings. I'm like, oh shit. Right, hello.
Therapy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with stuff like that, it's like, I suggest everybody gets therapy if they can like receive help like that, Though I would, if I have to give, some advice, I would kind of like double down on, because therapy is becoming so accessible to everybody. But have you noticed that because of this like digital age that we're living in, people are definitely monetizing that in a very like startup millennial way? And I'll see a bunch of ads on my Instagram that are like, get therapy now, and you're just like, whenever you feel down, just text this person and it'll just but therapy's more involved than that. Yeah, it just is like it's just this is not some quick route to, okay, now I'm better and I've had therapy, and I've had lots of friends who have had therapy, and but like, did they? Because they explain everything that they did, and I was like, oh, that just seems like that just doesn't. And then, but then they're like not better at the end of it, and I think that there's a lot of beautiful growth, the potential of a lot of beautiful growth here. Lean into that, treat therapy like homework. Treat therapy like schoolwork and something that you're actually interested in. Become interested in your own recovery.
Yeah, definitely.
And that involves going the extra mile and not just like trying some app for a little bit or something. Like it's a big, it's why people say, like that first step is huge, and it's because it's very, very hard to do, but it's so important. It's so important to the grand scheme of your recovery. And that big step, you don't want to make it smaller and smaller and smaller until it's just like, yeah, everyone's done the step. And it's like, yeah, but no one's gotten anywhere because of it.
Right.
There has to be something that comes after that. So be purposeful, be thoughtful. There is a right therapist out there for you. And you have to decide. I think another little thing, I was going to say this a while back, but imagine what you want to get out of therapy. You were saying that a little bit before, imagine what it is that you actually like. Envision how you want your life to improve in very specific ways. And then you can work on those things and reach those goals,
Yeah.
And those things can just be like, I feel bad and I want to feel better. I feel unmotivated and I want to feel better. Or, I mean, my thing was very particular. I have a specific phobia. I also have depression and anxiety and all that stuff. And but my main thing was a very specific phobia. So I speak to a therapist that specializes in agoraphobia to help manage, that whole thing. But put a lot of thought before you go into it, and be thoughtful with the whole thing, and it'll help you with your recovery a whole bunch, and it'll probably, it'll give you better chances that you won't just have an experience that you're just like, well, I tried this out and it didn't work, and now therapy's bullshit, because that's how a lot of people feel. But they tried it out, and they just kind of jumped into it without any thought.
Yeah. And be okay with the fact that it might, you might have to contact a couple before you find one you like,
Absolutely.
It's so vast, and there's so many different kinds of people who are therapists. There is a right fit for you. There's also wrong fits for you. So don't, if it doesn't click right away, don't just have one session and be like, well, fuck therapy forever, kind of thing. Yeah,
I know a lot of people who are like, fuck therapy. I'm like, okay, I don't want to invalidate anybody's anything, but I'm just like, I don't agree, and I'm sorry that you had that experience, because therapy has a very long, well-documented history of helping people, and yeah, you owe it to yourself to give yourself a better chance at it succeeding,
Yeah, that's a good way to put that.
We talked about that longer than I thought that we would.
We did, yeah. We were like, just a quick bit of advice. And I was like, I guess actually we kind of care about
I guess this is a big, vast kind of a topic, yeah.
Yeah.
The other part of their email, I'm just going back to it now. Actually, I'm not. I'm on Psychology Today and a tab that says, what do bugles taste like? So I'm going back. Okay.
All right.
They listened to Sad Soul.
Yeah, which is... When did Sad Soul start? I remember I was listening to it in 2014.
I think it pretty much started 2014. Like, I think we did it 2014 to 2016. And yeah, 2014 to 2016. And it was like this prototype,
Yeah.
It was an advice podcast. I always wanted to do an advice podcast. And so I did it with Christian, my good buddy Christian. It's Christian Novelli of Fox Academy fame. And we're buds, so we would talk all the time anyway. And we did a very occasional podcast. It was not once a week. There's only 20 episodes total. And I actually just found out just recently that like the episodes still play if you go to our old website. I don't know how. I don't know how they're still playing. Like
I don't know how, because they were
episode,
like deleted from Apple and stuff.
they were deleted everywhere, but on our website for some reason they're still playing.
Weird.
But yeah, the to me the podcast is really bad. And it's just kind of, it's not as natural as this. It's just Christian and I awkwardly, and we would do episodes so rarely. It existed for years and we had 20 episodes.
Yeah, you did it for 2 whole years.
And we had 20 episodes.
Yeah, 20 episodes. We do over 100 episodes in that span.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so very sporadic.
Very not consistent.
And very chaotic.
Yeah, and that's what I didn't like about it probably the most, is that I desperately wanted to have a podcast, and Christian just wasn't, they didn't want it as much. It was more a me thing, you know? But of course, we could only record when the both of us wanted to. But it didn't like get in the way of us talking or anything like that. We still talk all the time. We have a fucking, we have our own little private Discord server. We just practice freestyling together. Like, I love Christian, you know?
Yeah.
So it's funny that you and I have never like entertained the thought of just having Christian on the show. Like, we all talk.
We thought of
we all
that?
talk. Why wouldn't we just? And he has a microphone.
I'll like be in a call with you and Christian.
Yeah.
You know, like
Just record the call. Throw some questions in there. Done.
We definitely could do that. I mean, if Christian was up for it, obviously. But what you were talking to Christian about Sad Soul in this podcast, like kind of recently, right?
Yeah, Christian just recently started listening to this podcast, and
oh yeah, on like a long road trip or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Amanda got him hooked on the podcast, and now he just like listens to it.
Amazing.
Which is awesome. Yeah, we both
So
have
cool.
just like cool friends that are like listening to the episodes, which is amazing. Which is just incredible.
I like how you were like Christian Novelli of Fox Academy fame. He's also the other half of Wishing, your project that you have with.
Well, we don't talk about Wishing. That's kind of our thing. No, yeah, I forgot about Wishing because we always forget about Wishing is the thing.
Forget about Wishing until it comes to October. You need to make another record.
Yeah, in a single month. Yeah, of course. We have 2 full lengths, 2 EPs, a single.
Mitch and Christian of Wishing.
Yeah, we intimately work together. Like we released our first full length when we were still doing Sad Soul, and have just done Wishing ever since, our side project. You know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love Christian and would love Christian on the show, but I would also love like a lot of people on the show. Like, we just don't have people on the show, and we definitely should. We keep on saying like, we're gonna wait till you're here, but it's like, or we can just have
the other person's not going to also be in the room.
They're not going to be there, so
they're
going
to be calling in. So we could do it long distance for sure. Yeah, I was thinking the other day, I was like, would it maybe be cool if like every so often, like maybe once a month, or maybe every 5 episodes or something, we have like a guest come on?
Absolutely.
Because we know so many, not even we know, but we're good friends with so many good fucking artists.
Really
of, like,
cool
all
people.
kinds.
Yeah, I wonder why we just never have them on the show.
Weird of us. Yeah,
it's odd.
I would definitely be up for having Christian on and for having other people on.
Totally.
I think that would be cool.
Yeah, we should. Also, we've been planning to have Nika on the show forever. Nika has a microphone.
Yeah.
And now that she's officially like a mod in the Discord and stuff like that, let's just throw her on soon. You know?
Yeah, I would like it. It's good.
Brooke on the show would be funny too, but that would like
she wouldn't do it.
It's not that she would love to do it. I think she would love to do it. It's just that her
internet's so bad.
The worst. She doesn't have a microphone.
Yeah.
Her voice is really grating. It's up here, but it's also it's almost like her tongue is too big for her mouth. You know, lots of slow lisping. You know, and but it's up here. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah,
it's like nails on a. It's like nails on a chalk. If nails on a chalkboard had a Canadian accent, you know.
Yeah.
So like if someone was screeching on a chalkboard, but you didn't quite know what they were talking about, you know. That's
dumb. You know, I'm just glad it's not my accent getting made fun of for once.
Yeah. Just accept it. This has been All the Space in Between. My name is Mitch.
My name is Billy. Thank you so much for listening to another kind of long episode that sometimes we just go off on one. And
I know.
I really hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you enjoy listening. if you would like to write us an email that we'll read out on this beautiful email reading show, please shoot us one. We read through all of them that we get every single week, and we love a fresh one. Our email address is
allthespaceInbetween@gmail.com. And if you liked the episode, and if you have friends, we would love it if you told your friends about the episode. We pretty much rely on all of you for spreading the word of the podcast because we hate posting on social media. We don't do anything like that. We're constantly busy with other stuff, but we do have a nice little core audience of people who genuinely love the show. And if you're one of those people, please continue spreading the word and tell people that they can listen to this podcast. Show them a specific episode that you liked in particular, or just tell them to listen. And you've been listening, you've been writing in. You can tell them that the episode is pretty much everywhere where podcasts are found. You can search All the Space in Between on Spotify, on Apple Music, on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts.
Oh my god, this is a train wreck.
And be sure to tell them this verbatim. Or you can send them to our very convenient website, and our website is
allthespaceinbetween.com or smallhog.com.
We still have smallhog.com.
Yeah,
we still have the domain smallhog.com, and you can go there and click the picture of the hog, and it'll take you straight to allthespaceinbetween.com.
Click that hog pic.
Check out our podcast, everyone. saying that at the end of a hour-long episode. We sure hope you check out our podcast sometime.
How the fuck do you think I got here?
I've checked it out. Thank you guys so much for listening. New episodes every single Monday. Join the Discord. Join the Patreon. We're watching a movie on Wednesday. We already had the open mic. You missed the live performance, but god damn it, you can still be a part of the Discord if you want to. Patreon.com/flatsound. I think that's it. New episodes every Monday. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.